What's poppin', goblins? It's your four boys back on the mic again. I'm your host, Simba, aka Swizzy IV, joined by Isaac, aka Mechna Gamer.
Hello.
Then we've got your boy, Connor, aka Conflict Strat.
Hola.
And last, but most certainly not least, we have the beautiful, wonderful Simi, but you may or may not know him better as Tamago2474.
What's poppin', my pandemic partners? How are you doing? Did I say pandemic? You know
Yes,
what?
you
I'm
did.
gonna go
You
with
said
it.
pandemic.
I'm gonna go with it.
You should have just said bonjour.
Bonjour might have been better. How have you boys been? It's been a while since we've been on the mic. I don't want to belabel that point, but it's been a minute.
You're right.
Been a while.
A few minutes, yeah.
I'm warming up my throat muscles right now, making sure I get the voice that is needed for the podcast. I think I'm ready.
I totally get what Simi's saying. Like, I have to do the same thing where I have to pay attention to the way my voice sounds. I'm like, I gotta maintain it through the whole episode.
So this isn't Simba's real voice. Really, Simba's like really high pitched.
Yes.
Yes. Imagine it.
But he doesn't come out.
See, Simba, you see that pitch that you just said, I physically can't hit that. My voice stops before that. Like, hello. That's as high as I can go. That is as high as I can go.
That was the sound of someone yanking you by the neck, bro.
I think you need the Heimlich or something. I don't.
I think just got nabbed, man. Jesus Christ.
It's a shame as well, because like when you're trying to do the high notes and take on me, you just can't.
I just don't even attempt, man. I leave that to the professionals.
Only true legends can hit the high notes and take on me.
Only true legend. And something very legendary happened recently, boys. The big old PS5 got announced. Which I honestly, if you don't know about it, I don't know how you don't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very real.
I was trying to avoid it and I got a phone call from a family friend about it, so like, you can't not know about it.
I still cannot believe Isaac got cold. So I'm interested to see how you feel, because you're the resident Sony man.
Yeah. I didn't realize how much of like a Sony fanboy I really was. I knew I was into Sony, but then when I realized, like, bruh, dude, the only non-Sony console I've ever had was a Wii.
And
like,
everyone's had a Wii.
Indeed.
So it's like, yeah, man. I don't want to call myself a Sony pony, but I'm definitely on the Sony wave.
You can call yourself like other things apart from the Sony ponies.
Oh man, but you know what? It's interesting. Like, as I've gotten older, how I feel about like these sort of gaming reveals has changed. But I am still looking forward to the PS5, but not necessarily for the console, more so for like the next era of gaming. I have been playing PC games a lot more in recent years. And so graphics, I've already seen like very good graphics running on my PC. So I guess you could call me a PC master race looking down on the peasants.
You sounds like you're having an identity crisis. Which one are you, man?
Yeah.
But it's
you
different.
Get one pick.
Because the way it complicates it is the whole reason why you're impressed by a new generation of consoles is that, the graphics are so much better. The games can be so much more in depth. But then when you upgrade to like a proper gaming PC, it's like, these are literally the cutting edge of graphics. But that being said, I'm excited for all the new games that are coming with the PS5. So many new games. So they revealed Spider-Man Miles Morales. I was very surprised to see this, considering Spider-Man only came out on PS4 in 2018. For Insomniac to already have the next Spider-Man lined up to release with the PS5 release. So that's this year. I was very impressed. Now it turns out it's a standalone game, but more of an expansion on the original, right? So very similar, and this is actually their own words. It's similar to what Uncharted The Lost Legacy was to Uncharted 4. It is its own game, but it takes heavily from the original game and just builds upon it and gives you a new story, a new narrative, and it's much shorter than the original game. It's interesting. I've heard people call them expand-alones, right? So not quite an expansion, more of a standalone.
Yeah, Blood Dragon did it as well for Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sound
that's a bad name.
What I heard people calling it before they made it stupid was just a standalone expansion pack, but I guess I'm just old.
Nah, that's too long, mate. Expand-alone. Come on, mate.
Expand-alone. That's much shorter and easier to say. Expand-alone.
Expand-alone is just someone sitting in their chair eating chips and getting fat, isn't it?
Simi, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. That is June 2020, I believe.
Yeah, that's the same energy right there as like, you know, you just broke up with someone and you're just in your room just alone eating ice cream. It's just that same energy.
What's Jonathan doing? He's just doing an expand all over.
Oh man, poor guy.
Casey?
Man.
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, when I saw the Spider-Man thing as well, because when you said it was a new game, I was about to be like, yo, what? Because I thought it was like a DLC type of thing.
There was like, it seems like there was a bit of confusion about that at first. How
There
they had to
was.
verify.
Yeah. Now, they haven't said whether it'll be on the PS4, but I feel like it almost definitely should be.
It's running on the same game.
Yeah.
Well, see, Simi, the issue is for that, like, if it also comes out on PS4, that would be less of an incentive for people to get the PS5, obviously. So
That's very true.
I can see it going both ways.
But Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U.
Because no one
And on
had a
the
Wii U,
Switch.
Simba.
Ouch.
Can't argue with that.
Alright, fair point, you got me.
Is it still supposed to be expected at quite a high price? I remember that there was rumors that it was going to be a stupid expensive price.
Prices haven't
a few
actually been
months ago.
announced
They
yet,
haven't
but
been
people are
announced yet.
predicting
Haven't they?
around. People are predicting around $800. But again, these are predictions.
That's
Really?
crazy.
Imagine
These
if
they
they can
won't do
do what
that.
you already have.
They
does.
will
That's
not do
crazy.
that.
No, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Take that with the biggest grain of salt because these are predictions. Nothing has been confirmed in terms of prices as of the time of recording.
Imagine though, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I saw an
I can't
estimate.
imagine them doing something like that.
Yeah, like that's
That's
a really high price. And, you know, this is meant to be like a consumer product that people buy for, you know, their friends or their, you know, you buy it for your kids or whatever. $800 is a heavy one.
I mean, to be fair though, like comparing it with the prices of other premium products like that, like for example, like now phones are starting to hit the
That's
$1,000
what I'm
range as
thinking
well.
too, you know.
So it seems like a high price, but when you compare it to like similar products of nature, it's like all
I mean,
things
phones are also
starting to get-
rip-offs, but
Yeah, no, Connor, I completely agree with you that phones are becoming a rip-off. It's just that is just another market price of things now.
I think phones justify that price because most people are on contract, so I don't think most people ever really see those price tags from phones because most people, I think, are on contract nowadays. So I don't think most people who have like an iPhone X decided, I just have £1,000 lying spare, might as well go for it. There's not really a system for that like consoles that's really mainstream. So it's like, it's one of those things you have to buy out. And like Simi says, I can't imagine little Jimmy going, hey mom, you got $800.
Also, so don't forget that'll be $800, right? That'll be $800 without any games.
Yeah, just like $800, no games.
So you would also be need to at least for like one game probably like spend a good like $80. So that's not looking around
Yeah.
like what $900 in UK money. That'll be like what £700, which is that's a painful amount.
Ludicrous.
no, because you buy the $800 dollar PS5, and Fortnite's free, so you're absolutely fine. You have absolutely no reason to buy more games.
What's the point of the
Season
PS5?
3 did recently drop, guys, and it's all water. So,
No, but-
PS5's going to render all that water
No,
in real
but
fast.
Whoa. I doubt it.
What's the point of a PS5? It's just another Fortnite machine.
Yeah, basically.
I think everything's a Fortnite mission.
So,
what I mean.
what are the odds on Skyrim re-releasing? What do you reckon?
Bruh.
I reckon the Elder Scrolls is
God,
coming back
I-
one more time, one last
honestly,
hurrah.
probably
They
will.
should do it. They should actually
I
do
mean,
it.
They will. I'm sure they will.
I can see
I don't know why you
doing
said
it in a
they
heartbeat.
should, like they won't.
They'll bring out I don't know, Christ God knows. They really shouldn't.
I say
But
give
they
it a
will.
year or two, but it will happen.
Speaking of that, how do you guys feel about this GTA 5 re-release announcement for the PS5?
It was a very weak thing to open the presentation with.
Wait,
How
they
they
opened with
opened
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just knew that they announced it. I didn't know that they opened with it.
It's
But it
a,
maybe
did.
started with one of their own actual titles, but
it's a
fair
real
enough, I
ballsy
suppose.
move.
Yeah. A lot of I was streaming it, and a few people are like, "Whoa, are they gonna announce GTA 6?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro."
It's like,
So they only just
They
announced
announced the
that
GTA 5 6, but you know.
Well, it's the backwards compatibility then, because if you have PS4 GTA, can you not just smack it in?
Yeah, I've heard that the PS5 will be fully backwards compatible.
Yeah,
I hope
well,
that
so
that
I
is
looked
one.
into this. Not quite fully backwards compatible.
Oh,
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 So they have this system. It had some sort of stupid ass buzzword to it. They've looked at the 100 most played games on the PS4, and they all work, but it's not a full backwards compatibility because fuck us, I guess.
I get why.
So doesn't that mean that GTA 5 would be on that list then?
Well, if it is, I would pretty much assume that Rockstar would just whitelist it, because the Xbox side of things, they have a system, I think, that basically allows pretty much everything to be backwards compatible.
Yeah.
I forgot they also have a dumb buzzword for it, because we can't just use normal words anymore, apparently.
Of course not.
EA specifically whitelisted themselves from it because they have sports games to sell.
Money.
Yeah, so EA specifically were like, nah, we're not opting into that. So
Nice.
Rockstar might just opt out because they have a giant release based on the fact that,
Well, flipping Grow
You
Home
can't
and
just pop
Super
in
Meat
your
Boy
GTA 5
as your
disc,
top 100 games
in
or
there.
whatever.
So yeah.
That makes
So I
sense.
imagine
I
that
guess
would
I
be
was
the case.
overly optimistic about, because I was like, bro, I'm gonna play every game I have.
Yeah.
Well, they said the 100 most played games.
So probably the games that you do have probably will. It's just a few smaller ones probably won't.
I presume they talked
Yeah.
about like VR support and crap like that. I'd presume.
You know what?
Is that kind of like what they're trying to sell with the PS5? It's like the PS4 Pro, but it can do VR better.
They haven't gone into
I
VR
didn't
really.
hear anything VR.
Yeah, they didn't. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between the two consoles?
It's more powerful.
Yeah.
They are significantly
It has more
powerful
teraflops, Connor.
systems.
So many more teraflops, Connor. So many more.
How many polygons though,
Connor, it has a whole 10 teraflops.
Yeah, bro.
Polygons, Connor.
Teraflops.
Shapes.
These are just...
Yeah, I was watching one demo and they were like, look, there's 1 million polygons.
Oh yeah, the Epic Games like Unreal Engine. They're like, you are currently witnessing over 1 billion triangles being rendered in real time.
Yeah, that was it. It wasn't even polygons. It was just triangles, like 1 billion triangles. I was like, why are we, what is gaming right now?
Polygons.
Indeed.
To be fair, that's not the first time Sony's done that BS. When the PS4 came out, one of their things is they had a demo and they're like, guys, watch, we're gonna render 1 million polygons at the same time. So they drop like 1 million balls. And I was like, whoa, crazy.
Whoa. I mean, wasn't like the whole like point of Knack and Knack 2, right? Was to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a polygon thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Knack was the most unoptimized game I had played in a while. It lagged.
You played Knack?
I finished Knack, my guy.
I remember you talk about playing Knack until you finished it.
I legit
Why?
finished it.
Why'd you do that?
I was gonna try and do a series on it, and then I ended up not doing it, and so I put myself through that for no reason.
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus. Low key though, a Knack sequel was the most baffling thing. I was like, so this is a
Yeah.
game that was just meant to be like a show our hardware thing. And then you made it again.
Exactly.
But why?
And the difference in that one is that now there are 2 Knacks.
Knack 2.
Double the polygons.
Twice as many polygons. Wait, okay, so what's gonna be? Do you think Sony has a triangle game lined up?
Dude, they better. People are waiting for Knack 3 to be announced.
Bro,
No,
just say, do you think
no,
they're gonna bring
Simi.
out Knack 3?
Yeah.
Simi, we're skipping Knack 3. It's going to be Knack 10 because we're at 10 Knacks now. 10 times for polygon.
Knack 1 billion.
And then they stack them and make a pyramid, and they're like, boom, it's one giant triangle, my guys.
It's just a triangle. Oh my god, yeah, that's Knack 1 billion is gonna be it's gonna come with every
Knack 1
single
billion
PS5.
is the future.
You know, is there anything that stood out to you in the games that have been announced by any party, not just the PS5?
No.
I have to bring this up. There was a game that was... See, I don't even know if I can call it a game. There was a thing that was showed called Goodbye Volcano High. And
What?
if you were to watch the trailer for this game, apparently, you would come away from it thinking, is this a game or is this a Netflix original series? Like, it was fully 2D animated. You got no idea what the game was about. It felt like, it had a vibe of, high school teenagers figuring themselves out, except they're all dragons. So, it looked like BoJack Horseman, and there was no...
Actually, correction, they're dinosaurs.
They're dinosaurs.
Simi, you're racist.
Sorry, yeah. I got it wrong. I'm sorry. Wait, so the freaking... Oh, no, it was a meteor that killed the dinosaurs, not a volcano. I was about to say that the high school is named after...
It's contentious. It depends who you ask. It might have been a volcano, so yeah.
Somebody does know that they have to like try and make money this time, like properly, right?
What do you mean try? They made. Do you know how much money they made last generation?
Yeah, they did. However, they're not gonna be able to just get by on like, you know, on extra money via competition, because obviously if this digital edition thing is actually, you know, cheaper and more worth it, then they're not gonna get that second income from Xbox. So they actually have to, you know, have a better product.
Regardless of the second income, Microsoft, even though I think definitely towards the end of the cycle, were a much better company for the consumer, they weren't even running.
Yeah.
Like, when there was a race and Microsoft just didn't even show up,
They fumbled
basically,
it.
the last generation.
Yeah, between Sony and Microsoft, Sony tends to make more money in the console department. That is just, even without the extra income, they just sell more
Yeah,
units.
well, like I haven't seen an awful lot of like
Sony had no competition last generation.
Mm-hmm.
None.
just a bunch of weird game stuff that's coming out. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, I remember, I think it's a few weeks ago, that Transformers Battlegrounds. What the hell is that?
What?
When the hell did that come out?
Why, I haven't heard of that one. What the flip?
For real. I'd give that trailer a wee look, but that's a PS4 game, and my god, it does not look like it. Looks like like when the PS3 came out. It looks on the same level.
It's just because of the art style and... Yeah.
No, just look at it.
No, like, Connor, I am actually looking at it, like, and it...
Look at it.
Don't get me wrong, it doesn't look like a good game. It's just that...
Looks like it's on the DS. Like the original DS.
No, I'd say at least for DSi, Connor, to be fair. You don't remember how bad the original DS looks like.
Nah, I had Jamie Oliver's Cooking on DS. That was worth it, trust me.
Oh my god.
Bruh, fake. The only cooking game on DS is Cooking Mama.
Exactly, man.
No,
what
trust me.
What do you even do on Jamie Oliver's Cooking?
Well, it's kind of like...
You take away kids' favorite meals and give them apples.
No. I mean, yes, but
Just
no.
go school to school and say, "Oh, you guys are enjoying that."
The bad thing is that it's
not what you're about to say. Taking away kids' meals.
No. Trust. Jamie Oliver's Cooking, the game on DS. That's actually a way too high quality game. It just shouldn't exist. It's like it broke through some barrier somewhere, like way too early. But trust me, that game is so legitimately not crap. It's really good.
Why? What
made it good?
You need to sell me on this, because this is Jamie Oliver's Cooking you're talking about.
It was literally a sandbox cooking game. You just got a list of an absolute ridiculous amount of ingredients. You had any tool that you wanted. You had an entire kitchen at your disposal. You just make stuff, whatever you want.
But why?
You could do it to make sure that, you know, you could, I don't know, put a recipe together and it doesn't burn down the house or something. I don't know.
Wait, no, but how does it work? So does it mean, like, so you can just, like, throw eggs and a bunch of other random ingredients into a pan and it'll make something, but if you get the recipe wrong, it won't?
Yeah, if you wanted to.
That
basically.
sounds a bit weird, but I'm kind of curious now. Not gonna
Like I
lie.
said, it was and bear in mind, this was on the original DS. I was on the, like, at the very bottom of the R4 cards. It's just like... Jamie Oliver's Home Cooking, or whatever the hell it was called. But nah, that game was
What's Cooking, Jamie
legitimately
Oliver?
good. That's it.
It's cooking.
That's it. That's what it's
Cooking, Jamie.
What's cooking with Jamie Oliver?
No, not with Jamie Oliver. What's cooking? ? Then Jamie Oliver separate.
They should drop that on the PS5, and then the Steam, each Steam particle should be individually rendered.
Yes.
be like, look at all the triangles.
Yeah.
We're gonna zoom in just in case you didn't get a good look.
We've
Zoom
actually
in and you can see the molecules on the Steam.
we've actually rendered in each separate atom. You see, each atom is rendered in, but they're just so small that it makes no difference. So
that game is like legitimately good though. So you know, whoever made that Transformers thing should be ashamed. I'm sorry.
If they released Jamie Oliver's Cooking 2 on PS5, would you consider picking up the PS5?
Potentially, but I'd want it on PC.
That's what you guys need.
It's gonna load up so quickly on the PS5. With that SSD.
Shut up.
So fast, Connor. It's
like,
so fast. It's so quick. It's so wasteful. I don't need it. It's just
Connor,
money,
but
money down the
Connor,
drain.
But polygons, Connor, imagine the Steam.
They have polygons and they're gonna render in so quickly with their SSD.
They have
Like,
teraflops.
it's so unnecessary.
God, I've got so many teraflops.
You don't even need loading screens because you have an SSD.
I mean, they're still going to have obscene loading screens, Simba, but...
Here's a question I have is, I've been thinking about it because I think the problem with us, like I said already, is the kind of audience that we are right now. Is we are probably not really who these people are trying to sell to.
We are
who
not
these
the
people are
target
trying to hype
audience anymore.
to.
Yeah.
Even Doozy, who loves Sony games, is like,
Yeah, exactly.
We've kind of gone to that point. I think it's mostly because we play on PC or Switch, so it's like we just don't care at this point, especially about graphics and load times, because like just pop an SSD in there, baby.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what Sony did. So Sony heard it, they popped an SSD in there and they won't shut up about it.
It's difficult to justify buying a console for like what's going to be like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 massive AAA games that are going to release on its generation that are going to like proper like shake and make you want to be excited to wait for it when Steam has so much. Like I literally invested in a PC and then it's like, okay, you now have the library. It's like, here's like 500 odd games minimum.
Yeah, no, even that thing that Connor's saying about the games, like when you think about the PS4, and I never thought about this, is like in its entire life cycle, I think the only games that you could say were worth picking up on the PS4 would be God of War, Spider-Man, Uncharted, Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
And then
I do agree with that, to be honest.
And then potentially Horizon.
Yeah.
I was like, that's it.
If it weren't for the fact that it came out on PC.
That's what I mean.
And then if you're like, that's the entire list you have for the entire time the console was out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I worry that they probably will not be in its life cycle that many games that will even pique my interest really.
Simba,
each of their life cycles.
Simba, Knack 3, Knack 4.
Like Ghost of Tsushima.
Now, if they drop down to Knack 3, Isaac, now we're talking, okay, boy. I want Knack 3, and I want Knack to just be 1 billion polygons, and then we're down, boys.
Simba, what if Knack 3 is just 1 billion polygons, but it doesn't even make sense what's on screen? It's just polygons floating through.
No, nothing. It's just polygons floating. So one thing I'm wondering is like, what console do you think, thinking back to, let's say, when you were on like 12 or 13, which one of these consoles do you think would have best appealed to you, based on what's kind of available in both of them?
Probably Xbox.
Why do you say Xbox?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know why I ever said PlayStation thinking about it. Like, I was never really interested in the main games that came out on PlayStation at all, because Game Pass works on Xbox as well, right? That's the digital games on Xbox and PC, right? I think.
Yeah, there's actually more games on the Xbox.
Yes, it's no question. I'd totally do that then.
Well, maybe because of that and because of like all the weeb side of it, because Sony happens to have like a huge RPG section, which I don't care about right now. But if I was 12, I'll probably be really down for that and probably go Sony just because of that and possibly a few of the exclusives. But apart from that, like not including those, I just probably wouldn't choose either. I know how dishonest or like how dumb that sounds, but like at that time I would just like if I didn't have my DS, I'll just do something else, like watch TV or, I know this sounds weird, but go outside.
Yo, what a
Wait,
loser.
go where?
Isaac, not in this climate you want.
Hey, my boys give me internet access, but yes, I will.
You're trapped with naught but the console.
But
So how about yourself?
For me, I would definitely get a PS5. Like,
Okay.
I was very much invested in PlayStation by the time I was 12, Like, PS2, by the time I was 12, I had a PS3. So, if I'd never aged and I remained 12 and the PS5 came out, I'd be like, yeah, I'm getting a PS5. Because I love the exclusives that PlayStation has. And as much as I really, really wanted to play Halo and Gears of War, because I'd hear people on the Xbox side always talking about how amazing those games were. If I had to choose one or the other, I'm going to go with the one that I already have experience with.
That's fair.
Yeah, of course, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I started on Xbox 360 and I got PS3 much towards the end. I never even touched Halo or Gears.
Right.
For me, no, yeah, I never touched them, which is probably like sacrilege or something. But, look, I guess
Israel's probably going to come round yours later and start you, so be ready.
But I don't know. For me, the Xbox, I'd probably go for that because I was like, as a kid, I just want as many games as possible for as cheap as I could get.
Right.
And if I like with the Xbox Series X, if I was like, well, all my old games are just gonna work, and I can also just pay like $4 a month to get like 1 billion games.
It's like it's no.
Yeah, but also I think the final thing that would probably sway a lot of us, especially going up to the ages of like maybe 14, was probably the consoles that our friends had, because I feel like that would have been a big sway. Because that's why I got an Xbox, because all my friends had an Xbox when I had one. Then I got PS3 for no reason actually whatsoever.
I don't know about the rest of you, but like 12-year-old me, I think I don't remember there being many like bundle deals that were exactly available to console. Not to get like quite a few games. I do not remember there being.
Oh no, there were ones for quite a few games. There were ones for like 1 or 2 games, but never more than 2.
Yeah, like how you could, like how Humble Bundle exists and stuff. Anything like that. But like on console.
But even then, something like that doesn't exist for consoles. We have like Game Pass and stuff, but we still don't have something like that.
Also, Con, I feel like those possibly did exist. It's just that at the time we weren't looking for them as we are now, because back then it's just if you're buying a game, like you didn't have some sort of income, or like it was usually your parents' money or someone else's money, or like maybe your savings, but like as a kid, so it wasn't like you were going off your way looking, what's the cheapest price I can get this, or like how can I get as many games as possible?
I'd say it's the inverse, actually. Because, like, now as an adult with my own money, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Like, just like, whatever. As a kid, you had to convince your parent to get you everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I don't have to convince this person to spend £50 on this.
Simba, I can definitely disagree.
Piece of plastic.
Simba, I can definitely disagree with there being less before, though, because, like, I remember at the very least there will be Argos ones, because Argos, if you turn to the back, you could see for PS3 games, PS2 games even, you could see that you could get, like, 3 games for some sort of discounted price, because I remember the number of times I flicked through that Argos catalogue.
Whereas now it's like, I have 500 games, I don't know what to play. Yeah. I have nothing. There's nothing here.
I have 600 games and haven't completed any of them. What do I do?
No, that's like
nothing to play.
The struggle to get what you got when you were a kid is exactly why we think the things we had when we were younger were so amazing. Like, that is definitely why Connor thinks What's Cooking with Jamie Oliver was this game of the year 2006.
Game of the decade, how dare you?
And it's because that's the only game you had, Connor.
Well, I had other games. The DS was not the first bloody console that I had. Christ.
So you had to
like,
love it.
Connor, but the thing is, like, it may not have been your only game, but when you're only getting games so often, it's a big thing.
Yeah. But in some cases, I feel like, personally, I feel like, What's Cooking Jamie Oliver is better than, like, Assassin's Creed. I probably got way more. To this day, right now, I definitely have more game time in What's Cooking Jamie Oliver than I do in Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah,
that's just a straight fact.
I don't disbelieve you.
I don't think anyone disagrees with that.
You have like 2 hours in Odyssey. But
also, like, as a kid, I used to play games so differently. When you do a game, you just sit there and you just finish it because you're like, I'm gonna do everything.
Yeah,
I have nothing else to do after this.
I actually didn't complete many games when I was young. I only completed, like, I think 2 games when I was like 12 to 15 that entire time. It was only when I was like 15 to 18 that I actually started completing games, and then I stopped recently because I was like, I don't have time to complete games. I'm an adult now.
Well, I still have a pocket wallet full of San Andreas cheat codes. We didn't have a printer, so it's handwritten from me like 14 years ago.
I respect that.
And I used to get like scammed by YouTubers and stuff on like GTA. And by scammed, I don't mean for money. I mean time. Like, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you can make the entire city flood realistically, if you have mods. But in this case, you just have to use the rain cheat and then wait."
Yeah,
for like 5 days in game.
Use the rain cheat and then wait until it rains.
No, some of these YouTubers were legit. Like
Bigfoot
kids.
Exists.
Yeah, like there was
it's
so
just a San Andreas mod. It's like, for God's sakes, man.
That's awful. Big question, Connor. Did you complete What's Cooking with Jamie Oliver?
Who are you talking to?
This dude mastered it, man. He made tutorials.
I unlocked all of the levels, unlocked all the special kitchens, and got all of the equipment. 100%.
On that point, do you guys have any games, movies, or TV shows that you find kind of have like a almost restorative feel that kind of bring you back? You know, you play it or you watch and you're like, yeah, I feel pretty good now, actually.
Really bad anime.
Really?
Listen, okay, I've accepted the fact that I have a problem and I've got trash taste, but like just watching something which is really bad in just the dumbest way almost, which just brings me back sometimes. So there's that. Obviously, like well-written things as well, but just like if I have to like choose between watching something which is really good and emotional, something which is just like terrible, I'll probably go with the thing which is bad because I know that there's a higher chance of me finding some enjoyment with that.
Well, I guess you also know that it probably won't bum you out.
Yeah.
Which is the problem with, like, I guess, really deep stuff is like, oh, this might make me real sad and I don't have time for it.
Yeah. It's like, you know, you spend like the entire like 2 seasons getting attached to one character and then they kill them off in the saddest way when you're just like, I'm not okay with this. I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, like I haven't finished The Last of Us, but I know if I'm looking for a good time, I probably shouldn't play this.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's some things that they're good content, but it's not gonna help you out.
Like I came here to escape my own problems. You know, why am I getting more?
Yeah, exactly. Timmy, do you have any games that you find, games, movies, TV shows, just any type of like media entertainment that you
just
find
makes
kind
me
of
feel good?
Makes you kind of feel good.
I've been thinking about it, and it's like I'm actually not sure. I don't have a go-to thing. What I usually do is like I'll get nostalgic and I'll watch something that I know I like, or I'll play something that I played before. So for example, like I really like the movie Forrest Gump, right? That's my favorite film of all time. So I know I can watch that and I'm gonna feel really good because I really like that movie. But even that, you know, it has its sad points. So I'm not just watching it to, you know, to feel happy. It's like that nostalgic feeling is what I'm getting. I watch nostalgic YouTube videos, which wouldn't be nostalgic for anyone else, but just because I watched it when I was younger, I'd watch it again. I'd be like, oh yeah, this is nice. I personally
just have a problem where once I've watched something once, I find it really hard to rewatch it because it's like I know everything which happens, so even if it's like really good, it's just my brain's just there thinking, yeah, but this happens anyway. So like how do you like, I don't know, like almost get past that, or do you just not have that as an issue at all?
Well, it depends on, usually when I really like something, sure, the plot is nice, but it's also because of the themes of it and how it's presented as well. So like with Forrest Gump, I know the story inside and out. Each time I watch it, there's something new I didn't notice. But it's just, I like the performances from, you know, Tom Hanks and the rest of the cast. I like the characters. I like the themes that it puts across of, you know, perseverance, overcoming obstacles, loving family and all that stuff. So when I watch it, I just like, yes, this is life. It's not something that I would watch all the time. Like I happen to watch it about once every 2 years. So I watched it last year. I haven't watched it this year. I probably won't. But I might end up watching it next year. So, you know.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because I didn't really have an answer to this question up until recently. Because somebody recommended I start watching Studio Ghibli movies. And I did. And every time I watch one of those movies, I finish it and I'm like, oh, man, I feel fucking great. Connor, do you have any piece of media that makes you feel, or any types of media, anything that you kind of as your go-to thing? Can even be music, I guess.
You know, I honestly don't think so. Because, like, I presume that partly what can tie in to make it feel, you know, good, make you feel happy, and all that razzmatazz can, you know, sometimes be like nostalgia, especially like if you grew up with that sort of like film. Even if it makes you feel a certain way, it can still make you feel happy. You reminisce or whatever. But I feel like my like tastes in film, games, music have kind of changed quite a lot. So I don't really get those sort of vibes from that sort of media.
But I do get that, but may I point you in the direction of your bad movie list?
See, but even the bad movie list, you know, albeit The Resort, that is with a Z, by the way, is probably one of... It's just a masterpiece in regards to film.
You also recently watched the entire Cars series. How did that make you feel?
Wow.
That's an how dare you? I watched every Disney film since 2006 to date.
No, I know you've watched all of them, but I was more specifically focused on how Cars.
I started with Cars, yeah, and that was interesting. I only watched the first one, and then I went back and watched the other two, and was like, "Wow, that exists."
Would you say that Cars made you feel fully restored and healed?
I wouldn't say it did. Cars 2 was more confusing than anything. That was a wild ride. I did not know where that was going. It was like a thought to be a spy and etc. I actually preferred Cars 3 to Cars 2. I feel like I wish that it just went Cars 1, Cars 3, but obviously called it Cars 2, and then just finished it. I would have been happy with that. That Cars 2 was completely unnecessary. Like, what the hell?
Connor, everyone agrees with you right now. Okay, Cars 2 did not need to exist. Mater did not need to become a spy and have like a love story.
Considering that I don't know what I was expecting, but they don't even mention it after that, But no, yeah, I suppose old Disney films and stuff like Aladdin. If I watch that, that's probably gonna make me feel a certain way. Or The Lion King. Again,
yeah, old Disney films are good for that.
Just because it's so old, I can
has
remember
a feel to it.
Or maybe
do you think What's Cooking with Jamie Oliver might be your thing?
I haven't picked it up in years.
I'll try it. You might find that it really hits.
Connor,
hits the right spots.
Don't worry, I'll send you a completely legal link. It's fine.
Illegal
I don't even know if somebody's gone through the effort of getting What's Cooking with Jamie Oliver.
I can guarantee it exists, Simba. I can guarantee it exists.
It's like who was like, what the world needs? What's Cooking with Jamie Oliver on the DS?
Someone did
on
Simba.
PC.
Simba. I would say that's someone's favorite game, but it already is Connor's favorite game. So there's probably someone else out there who's
okay. An old city builder probably would be the closest thing. By the way, I think.
Oh, okay.
Thinking about it, probably.
I don't know what time you're listening to this, but hope you have enjoyed the podcast. Hope you had enjoyed listening to us talking about a bit of gaming. We don't usually focus too heavily on gaming, but I thought this one actually might be a bit more interesting, and we tried to do it in a way that you could at least learn a little bit more about us still. And if you're on Spotify or on iTunes or something, and you're like, oh, what else do you guys actually do? We have a whole ass YouTube channel with multiple videos of us gaming it out and having fun times together. So if you want to go laugh and do something else to escape the rest of the universe for 20 minutes at a time, maybe, and come along there, come and chat. We're all lovely and friendly. We don't bite. I can't speak for Connor, but we don't bite.
But we can held hostage. Don't listen to him.
Anyways, I have been your boy Simba Case with the Avi, and I've been joined by my 3 lovely friends here. Isaac, what would you like to say to the people before you disappear?
Don't listen to us unless you do. That's cool too.
Thank you for nothing. Simi, you?
But the next time you hear me on the podcast, I will be a changed man. And it will be, the split will occur from before I played The Last of Us Part 2 to after I played The Last of Us Part 2. So if you see me on the next podcast, you're like, yo, this dude's Hamago sounding kind of different. Just know.
He's going to come back and be like, hey, yo, fam, what's up, guys?
Exactly.
Like, yo, what happened?
That's the last thing.
I just had a life-changing experience, bro.
Last of Us 2 hit differently. I'll see you guys later.
See you guys.
Peace.
My God.